Assembly, CA. Constitution of India has been made by Constituent Assembly which was been elected for undivided India. #Prelims Fact. Demand for Constituent Assembly, CA. The idea was first put forward by M. N. Roy in 1934. In 1935 the Indian National Congress, Inc., for first time officially demanded a Constituent Assembly to frame Constitution of India. In 1938, Jawaharlal Nehru on behalf of Inc. stated that Constitution of Free India must be framed without outside interference by a Constituent Assembly elected on the basis of adult suffrage. British response. The demand was first time accepted in August offer of 1940 by British government. In 1942 Sir Stafford Cripps was sent with proposal but it was rejected by Muslim League. Finally Cabinet mission was sent in 1946 consisting of 3 members Lord P. Derrick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps, and A. V. Alexander. Cabinet mission plan. The provisions to set up a Constituent Assembly of India are: total strength, 389, 296 allocated to British India, 93 to princely states. Seats distributed among Muslim, Sikhs, and general communities based on population proportion. Representatives elected within each community through proportional representation using a single transferable vote. It had partially elected and partially nominated members. Partially elected through indirect election by provincial legislative assembly elected members on limited suffrage. Representatives from princely states nominated by chiefs. Result of Constituent Assembly election held in July-August 1946. 208 seats won by Inc., 73 by Muslim League and 15 by independent players. Princely states retained from joining. Mahatma Gandhi was not a member of Assembly. Assembly comprised representatives of all the section of Indian society. Working of Constituent Assembly. First meeting was held on December 9, 1946 where only 211 members attended it. Princely states and Muslim League boycotted the meeting. Interim/temporary President, Dr. Sachidnanda Sinha. Permanent President, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Vice Presidents, H. C. Mukherjee and V. T. Krishnamacharya. Objective Resolution. December 13, 1946, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru introduced Objective Resolution in the Constituent Assembly. The resolution outlined the fundamental principles and philosophy of the constitutional framework. January 22, 1947, the resolution was unanimously adopted by the Assembly.
It served as the guiding document for framing the Constitution of India.
A modified version of the resolution serves as the preamble of the present Constitution.
Q. What was the purpose of Objective Resolution? It outlined the vision and objectives for framing the Constitution of India. The primary purpose was to establish the ideals and goals that would guide the constitution-making process. It emphasized principles such as democracy, liberty, equality, and justice, and laid the foundation for creation of a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic state. Features of Objective Resolution. It emphasized the commitment to creating a sovereign, democratic, and socialist nation. It aimed to ensure justice, equality, and liberty for all citizens. The resolution promoted secularism and religious freedom. It emphasized the importance of safeguarding and promoting the rights and welfare of minorities. The resolution advocated for the eradication of social and economic inequalities. It stressed the need for a strong and unified India that promotes international peace and cooperation.
Changes after Indian Independence Act 1947.
The Assembly became fully sovereign and first legislative body of independent India. Dr. Rajendra Prasad chaired the Assembly as a constituent body to draft the Constitution for Free India. G.V. Mavlankar chaired the Assembly as a legislative body to enact ordinary laws. It reduced the total Assembly strength from 389 to 299, Indian provinces from 296 to 229, and princely states from 93 to 70. Functions performed by Constituent Assembly. It performed the function of both constituent as well as legislative body. It adopted the national flag of India on 22 July 1947. It ratified the India's membership of the Commonwealth in May 1949. On 26 November 1949 it adopted the new Constitution of India. On 24 January 1950 it adopted the national anthem and national song, and elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the first President of India. Note: 1950–1962, the first Vice President of India was Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Points to remember: the Constituent Assembly held its final meeting on 24 January 1950. It continued to function as a legislative body until the first general election. It had total of 11 sessions, spanning over 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days. Only the provision of universal suffrage, allowing voting rights for all adult citizens, was adopted by the Constituent Assembly without any debate. Important committees of Constituent Assembly. It has 8 major and 13 minor committees. To draft a new constitution, drafting committee was constituted.
Drafting Committee. It was set up to prepare a draft of Constitution of India. It was chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It published its first draft in February 1948 and second in October 1948. It consists of 7 members. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Dr. K. M. Munshi, N. Gopalasvamayyangar, Aladi Krishnaswamy Ayer, N. M. Rao, T. Krishnamacharya, Syed Mohammad Sadullah. Enactment of Constitution. Constitution of India was adopted on November 26, 1949, which is celebrated as Constitution Day. The original constitution consisted of the preamble, 395 articles, and 8 schedules. Certain provisions of the Constitution were enforced immediately from November 26, 1949, including citizenship, elections, provisional parliament, president, and others. Government of India Act 1935 and Indian Independence Act 1947 were repealed upon the adoption of the Constitution. The jurisdiction of the Privy Council was abolished in 1949. January 26, 1960. This day is celebrated as Republic Day in India. It is chosen as date of commencement because it coincided with the celebration of 1930's Purna Swaraj, i.e. complete independence. It aligns with the resolution passed at the Lahore session of Indian National Congress. Criticism of Constituent Assembly. It was not a representative body as it does not reflect the masses. It was not a sovereign body as it was formed on the proposals of British government. It took huge time to frame the Constitution as compared to American, which took only 4 months. It was dominated by Congress Party and Hindus. Domination of mostly lawyers and politicians. Important facts. Elephant was adopted as symbol of Constituent Assembly. Sir B.N. Rao was appointed as constitutional advisor or legal advisor to CA.
Prem Bihari Narayan Rajada served as the calligrapher for the Indian Constitution, while Vasant Krishan Vaidya handled the calligraphy for Hindi version.
It is beautified and decorated by artists of Shanti Niketan including Nand Lal Bose and Biohar Ram Manohar Sinha. Preamble.